retribution and get y'all asses in the field where the fuck y'all belong. Make sure y'all picking every fucking vegetable and don't miss out on anything. Y'all not getting away from black folks. Y'all gonna be around us a lot more. And unlike the ones in South Africa, we don't give a fuck. You're not gonna be able to call us colored. You're gonna get your dome rocked. So be careful. Tread lightly. And remember, we don't see you as African. We see you as colonizers of an apartheid. Welcome to America.
This video is for the white Afrikaners who are coming to the United States. I think you've already landed here. And I know that some of the folks who met you at the airport told you, welcome, we're so glad you're here. Most of us aren't glad you're here, okay? We don't want you here. We never wanted you here. And furthermore, I noticed they're going to settle you in Idaho, Ohio, and North Carolina. I will tell you they're not our finest states, so they're a good fit for you. I understand that many of you are farmers, and I've seen a lot of people say, oh, that's great, we need more farmers. Sorry to say we don't. We actually need farm workers because we've deported most of them. So if you can, put your picking hat on and think about, picking produce, that's largely probably what you're going to be doing here because I hear you don't have a lot of skills. I would also say that you're not going to have to hold just one job, but probably 2 or 3 to make up for your quality of life that you had back in South Africa. There will be no servants working for $2 a day. There's none of that here. So you're the servant who's working for $2 a day. So enjoy that. You're going to have to pay for your health care. And ordinarily, because you're a refugee who's being discriminated against, you would go on Medicaid. But guess what? The Republicans just cut Medicaid. So I don't think you're going to have that option for health care. So maybe you'll do without. I don't know. And honestly, I don't care. I did notice that the Episcopalian Church had a program with the government where they would, they would resettle and help refugees resettle. They find you all to be so onerous, they terminated the partnership with the government and they said, yeah, we won't be resettling those folks. Other things that you need to know about. While we are 58% white here in the United States, that's not going to last much longer. Within the next couple of years, we're going to be the minority, which will be fun for you because that's what you're used to. Interestingly enough, we have a ton of Latinos. We're the second largest Spanish-speaking country in the world. So for you, if you could stop speaking that dirty, guttural, whatever it is, German, French, Dutch thing that you speak, that Afrikaans, nobody wants to hear that shit. So you can speak English or you can speak Spanish, which is really the second language here. In terms of other things that you need to know about, the black people in this country, they don't get fucked with, okay? I know that there's a long legacy of colonialism and all kinds of stuff happening in your country, but our black folks have sort of been through the fire, if you will, and they're not going to be fucked with. So you're the minority here. Enjoy. I really hope you like your time here. I'm going to bet my ass that you're going to be booking it back to SA probably within the next 12 months. Have a great day.
Most of us, I believe that's in this group, we had no say over that law.
Right.
We had no say as to whether or not we agreed with it. We didn't vote for it.
It was just there.
It was just there. And we are just a backlash. And I mean, come on now. It ended 31 years ago. How long are we going to carry on?
Well, more importantly, when will government take responsibility?
Exactly.
For its own actions?
Yeah. No,
that's the sad part.
And, I've had a lot of time driving up and down and I'm thinking to myself, the media is lashing out at us. Yes, but you are the people that's from apartheid. No, I did not vote for it. I did not agree on it. Are you still punishing the slave traders' descendants?
Yeah. Are you punishing the Crusaders' descendants?
Thank
you. Are you punishing the people from the monarchy's descendants?
So why are you beating us up? I mean, we get beat up over here, we get beat up over there, and fortunately, as a result of that, we've got thick skins, and we can hold our heads high and be gracious about it, or graceful about it. and just answer with dignity, because that's how we were taught. We were not taught to be vindictive people, which is why we are in this boat, because we don't retaliate. We are peace-loving,
Defensive people.
Just wanting to do our own thing, be left alone, so we can work hard, earn our way, and just live in peace. And we're not getting that.
I mean, Afrikaners, and I'm sorry to use the general term, but that's what they're calling themselves. Do they really think that they will be seamlessly integrated into American society? There's a language barrier, first of all. Some of them don't even speak proper English, and they also refuse to. I can just imagine Frikkie and Susan at their fucking Walmart jobs because, yeah, that's if they're lucky. That's if they're fucking lucky. Trying to explain to Americans why they are white from Africa. Because according to Americans, Africa is a country. There was a woman there with a Musa beard in a book the size of fucking Mount Rushmore. Imagine that uncle trying to explain to people why he's not starving, why there was no flies on his face on the TV, on American TV. Imagine that uncle trying to explain himself. I think the American people, or some of them actually, there will be a Musa revolt or protest or whatever you want to call it if those people get put up in special houses, given special jobs, given amenities that regular refugees don't have. All the while, the people living next door who are Mexican with proper documentation get fucking deported. You know what I mean? It's not only the language barrier, bruh. It's also schools. Imagine those like this go to school in the yellow felt workers, khakis. Yo, again, Frikkie and Susan must cough up to buy Jordans and Stanley Cups and fucking iPads and MacBooks because, yeah, the kids are gonna suffer. Imagine Klein Frik pulling up there to fucking, I don't know, Washington DC High or whatever the thing is, in a young Kortbroek and a hemp. My bro. And Velskoene. I was losing light over there. I'm very interested to see how this thing is going to turn out. Because to be a refugee, you can't so much just come back. Because why would you come back from a country you're fleeing from? Because your life is in danger. Why would you go back? You know what I mean? And if you come back, because our constitution does not allow our citizenship to be renounced or whatever the word is, they can't take your citizenship away from you as a South African, basically. You can never become a refugee again. So what if war does break out? I hope it doesn't, but what if war does break out? You would have to fucking stand up a post for it. My main concern, though, is the biltong. Because we all know, the most racist motherfuckers in this country of South Africa, those brasa, those means, they make the best biltong, bruh. The more racist the place is, the better the biltong. That's why. That's actually my only reason why I want to go to Orania. To taste the fucking biltong. Yo, it's gonna be fun times ahead.
Okay, y'all, so I'm going to give you the following scenario just to show you that as an Afrikaner, it's so difficult to be in this country. This happened to me allegedly. Apparently, my car got stolen and we didn't. It's just a scenario. So the hijackers came to me and they had pew-pews already. Remember the scenario? And they were like, oh, damn, you're right. But we don't know if you are Afrikaans or English because we only attack Afrikaans white people. We leave the English white people alone. And then they're like, how are we going to test whether or not you are English or Afrikaans? And then they say the word with. And my Afrikaner heart is beating because I know I'm gonna say with. Is that like how it happens? Is that how we think it happens? Like, how do we know that it is like Afrikaners that are disproportionately affected by crime in this country? Because criminals don't discriminate. Criminals don't care. They just want their things. Anyways.
Oh, this isn't about race. This is about racism. Taking brown people and actively unilaterally removing them from the country, whether they have a criminal history or not, whether they're American citizens or not, babies that are American citizens, children with cancer, absolutely not a single olive branch to them, don't give a shit. But when it comes to that color South Africans, all of a sudden we're taking them in as refugees. You know, the very people who thrived on an apartheid system in South Africa. And what kicked this all off were the South Africans on this app that were like, hey, Americans, stop real quick. And these videos are of them literally telling Americans that these refugees that are coming in are not the best of their society. And I hope by now most people have understood that nothing that this regime does is by accident. It's on purpose. It's letting you know these are the people we consider refugees, but don't talk to us about Syrians. Don't talk to us about Palestinians. Like, don't talk to us about any of those. You know what? Because they're not the complexion that we give a shit about. Oh, and Ukraine, well, guess what? That doesn't bode well with our Ruski buddy, so guess what? That doesn't count either. Now, we want some strong segregationist roots returning to this country.
America is doing to South Africa what the British did to Zimbabwe, where they create a crisis with an ulterior motive behind it. Back in 1979, there was agreement that was signed between the British and the Zimbabwean liberation leaders, Robert Mugabe and Joshua Nkomo. A major key point of this agreement was how was land going to be redistributed to the majority black Zimbabweans. Now, what